Hi there. I'm just gonna show you a few pieces of stone flint chert material that I have found. Here's a piece of Knife River flint that I picked up when I was a little boy at our home farm in Saskatchewan. Knife River flint comes from North Dakota, and no one really wanted it. So it was just sitting on the windowsill by the old house. But it's a hide scraper and really beautiful. And I've always been interested in just the people and how they use these things. Here's a piece that I actually picked up on a beach in France. You'll see it in a sec. Uh, it's also chert or flint, and this is the beach in Dieppe where the Canadians landed in 1942, and how the people who organized the raid felt that the tanks and landing craft could go over these huge pebbles is beyond me. In any case, if you hammered this material with a hammer, and here's an old native hammer, Aboriginal hammer, and here's another one. But I didn't want to hammer it with those because they're too old, and I could just use any piece of granite. So that's what I'm going to do. And just the other day I hit this piece of flint from France, and you'll see how with impact you can make a knife. Now see how nicely it came off, and there's a bulb of percussion, I guess you call it, or there's these ripples like waves, almost like water lines, like going through, but it's just amazing how the pressure reaches out into the material, and then you end up with something extremely sharp and usable, functional. Here I'm cutting a piece of wood, just giving an example of how it would be used as sort of a jackknife. You could touch it up, but hey, use it as a knife the way it is. Here's a jackknife. You could use that, but the native people didn't have that. And also, here's an actual blade that I found at Lake of the Woods that I put on a piece of wood, and you can also use that to cut hide, sinew, wood, whatever. Here's something that I've also located at Lake of the Woods that seems to me to be an ulu, or sort of an Inuit tool. It'd be great for cutting fish, but it's also sharp. The material is pink, which is really beautiful. And you've probably seen steel ones similar to that. This is a piece of the same type of material that is a beautiful knife. It's just incredible. It's been, I guess you'd say, halved or cut, broken, but just completely functional and amazing to find. And it's nice, feels nice on your hand. Showing you a couple more things. Here's an axe that I found just at the beach out at the cabin, just a teeny tiny beach right where we put our boat in. And there it was, and you could use it to chop down a tree or as a scraper. I'm not sure what they used it for, but say an axe. Here's another piece of shirt, pink. Here's a black one. I believe that's from, I forget actually, but it's from Lake of the Woods somewhere. Here's another type, another color, and it's a blade. These are actual just things that were found laying by the water. Here's from Saskatchewan a point, and there's another point. That one's from Lake of the Woods. So obviously you could make things out of the chert, but sometimes you didn't have to do a whole lot to it to use it as a tool. This is the piece of chert that I broke the other day, and I just think it's amazing. A whole beach full of chert, about a meter deep or 3 feet deep, and no wonder you can't even walk down the beach. So it's just so easy to find flint in France, but it's rare actually in North America. That's my son and I. We found a bison